Hey there, fellow travelers, ready to explore Brazil? I'm talking about the kind of trip where you come back with a tan, a newfound love for samba, and enough stories to bore your friends for months. From vibrant cities to breathtaking natural wonders, we've got it all covered. Beaches? Oh, yeah, Brazil's got them. And they're even more amazing in person than in the photos. We're talking crystal clear water, white sand, and more beautiful people than a modeling agency convention. And don't even get me started on the food. We're talking feijoada, pão de queijo, caipirinhas. Your taste buds won't know what hit them, and the best part? You don't have to speak Portuguese to enjoy any of it. Although, a few basic phrases might help you score an extra caipirinha or two. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And hey, if you love what you see, hit that subscribe button for more awesome travel content. Now let's get this Brazilian adventure started. First stop, Rio de Janeiro. This city is like the love child of a carnival and a postcard, with a beach bod to die for. And trust me, the beaches here are legendary. We're talking Copacabana, Ipanema. You'll be working on your tan lines and your pickup lines in no time, but Rio's not just about soaking up the sun. You've got Christ the Redeemer watching over the city like a really, really tall guardian angel. And then there's Sugarloaf Mountain, which offers views so stunning you'll probably forget to take a selfie. Okay? Who are we kidding? You're definitely taking a selfie. And when the sun goes down, Rio really comes alive. We're talking samba clubs, rooftop bars, and enough energy to power a small country. Just remember to pace yourself. You don't want to peak too early in the trip. So yeah, Rio de Janeiro. It's a must-see, a must-do, and a must-tell everyone about it kind of place. You might even say it's totally Rio-diculous. Yes, I made a funny. Next up, we're heading to Iguazu Falls. Niagara Falls is going to be green with envy after this. Imagine this, 275 waterfalls, all cascading down. It's like Mother Nature's epic pool party. Walkways take you right over the falls, feeling the spray. Take a boat ride right under the falls. Just be prepared to get soaked. It's been featured in movies like Black Panther. It's the kind of place that makes you realize how small we are. All right, amigos, pack your dancing shoes and your appetite for amazing food because we're heading to Salvador Bahia. This place is like the New Orleans of Brazil. Salvador is a city that knows how to party, and their carnival celebration is legendary. This city is steeped in Afro-Brazilian culture, from the food to the music to the beautiful architecture. Get ready to experience the magic of Salvador. Next stop, Manaus. Now, if you're looking for a relaxing beach vacation, this might not be the place for you. Manaus is your gateway to the Amazon rainforest, one of the most incredible and biodiverse places on Earth. We're talking about a place so wild, so untamed, it makes the Rainforest Cafe look like, well, a cafe. You might see a monkey sipping a latte there, though. You never know. But before you dive headfirst into the jungle, take some time to explore Manaus itself. This city has a fascinating history as a former rubber boomtown, and you can still see remnants of its opulent past in the architecture and culture. And of course, no trip to Manaus would be complete without venturing into the Amazon. You can take a boat trip down the river, go piranha fishing, or even spend the night in a jungle lodge. Just watch out for those caimans. They're like alligators, but with a Brazilian accent. All right, folks, get ready to say hola to Florianopolis, also known as Floripa to the locals. This island paradise has beautiful beaches, buzzing nightlife, and natural beauty. We're talking beaches for days, people. From surfing hotspots to secluded coves, Floripa has it all. And the best part? Delicious seafood and lively bars are everywhere. So pack your swimsuit and dancing shoes. Floripa is calling. All right, we're headed to the Pantanal, Brazil's giant kiddie pool, filled with incredible animals. It's like Noah's Ark had a wild after-party. Jaguars, capybaras, giant river otters. This place is teeming with wildlife. And caimans, they're like lazy crocodiles. So pack your bug spray, binoculars, and maybe a life vest. You're in for a wild ride in the Pantanal. Next up, we're taking a trip back in time to Olinda, a city so steeped in history it makes your grandma's stories about walking uphill both ways to school seem like, well, yesterday. This place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. Picture this: cobblestone streets, colorful colonial buildings, churches older than your Uncle Steve and probably in better shape, let's be honest. It's like walking onto the set of a pirate movie, but with less scurvy and more delicious street food. And speaking of food, Olinda has some of the best in Brazil, so put on your stretchy pants and get ready to indulge in some seriously tasty treats. I'm talking acarajé tapioca crepes and enough seafood to make a pirate jealous. So, if you're looking for a city that's as charming as it is historic, Olinda is the place for you. Just don't forget to pack your walking shoes and your appetite for adventure. All right, adventure seekers, this one's for you. We're heading to Chapada Diamantina National Park, a place so beautiful it makes you want to slap on a pair of hiking boots and become one with nature. We're talking dramatic landscapes, breathtaking waterfalls, and enough hiking trails to make your calves scream for mercy. And the best part, you might even spot a few furry friends along the way. No, not tourists in those weird animal hats, but actual wildlife. But don't worry, you don't have to be a seasoned hiker to enjoy Chapada Diamantina. There are trails for all levels, from leisurely strolls to intense climbs that'll have you feeling like you just conquered Mount Everest, or at least a really big hill. So, pack your backpack, lace up those boots, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure in one of Brazil's most stunning natural wonders. Just remember to bring extra socks because nobody likes blisters. Trust me on that one. Parody, you know what that sounds like to me? Pirate treasure. I bet you $1 million that Johnny Depp dressed as Jack Sparrow has spent some time in parody. It just has that vibe, you know? This place is like a time capsule. Cobblestone streets that are older than my Aunt Chippy. And she puts the old in Old Navy, let me tell you. But hey, those streets survived, so more power to them. And the beaches, don't even get me started on those beaches. Crystal clear water, white sand. It's like the air lifted the set of a Corona commercial right here. So pack your bags, grab your sunscreen and your eye patch, and get ready to explore Parody. Just watch out for parrots carrying pieces of 8. Could be dangerous. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to Lençóis Maranhenses National Park. And let me tell you, this place is like nothing you've ever seen before. It's like walking on the moon, but with better snacks. Imagine this, miles and miles of sand dunes, like serious sand dunes. The kind that would make Lawrence of Arabia say, whoa, that's a lot of sand. But here's the kicker, nestled between those dunes are crystal clear lagoons. It's like Mother Nature said, I'm gonna make a desert, but I'm gonna make it fabulous. And she did. You can swim in the lagoons, slide down the dunes. It's basically a giant sandy water park. But seriously, this place is truly magical. It's the kind of place that makes you realize how incredible our planet is. Just, try not to think about getting sand in your swimsuit. Next stop, Ouro Preto. Now, if you're like me, you hear Ouro and you think gold. And guess what? You're not wrong. This place used to be a major gold mining hub back in the day. But don't worry, you don't need a pickaxe and a donkey to enjoy Ouro Preto. These days, it's all about the charm, baby. Think cobblestone streets, colorful colonial buildings, and enough history to make your head spin. We're talking churches decked out in gold, museums showcasing Brazil's past, and those winding streets just begging to be explored. It's like stepping back in time, but with better Wi-Fi. So if you're looking for a taste of Brazilian history and culture, Ouro Preto is the place to be. Just, leave the gold panning to the professionals. Or at least to the people who brought their own equipment. All right, folks, buckle up because we're headed to Brasilia, Brazil's capital city. Now, you might be thinking, Jimmy, why are we going to a government town? Trust me on this one. Brasilia isn't your typical boring capital. It's like if someone said, let's build a city that looks like it's straight out of the Jetsons. And then they actually did it. This place was designed by the legendary architect Oscar Niemeyer, and let me tell you, the guy was a genius. Everything in Brasilia is all curves and futuristic shapes. It's like a playground for architecture nerds, and don't even get me started on the sunsets here. Picture this, you're sipping a caipirinha, the sun is setting behind the National Congress building. It's the kind of view that makes you want to write a poem or at least take a selfie for Instagram. So forget everything you thought you knew about boring capital cities. Brasilia is proof that even politicians have good taste, at least when it comes to architecture. After all that concrete in Brasilia, you're ready for some fresh air, right? We're off to Chapada dos Veadeiros National Park. Think towering cliffs, lush valleys, and waterfalls. Waterfalls that'll make you want to sing. I prefer exploring from a golf cart. But the trails here are impressive. You can hike through canyons, swim in natural pools, and spot capybaras. They're like giant guinea pigs. The real stars are the waterfalls, so powerful they could power a small city. And you can swim in some of them. Chapada dos Veadeiros, the perfect place to reconnect with nature. All right, buckle up, folks, because we're heading to Sao Paulo, the New York City of Brazil. Except instead of complaining about the Yankees, everyone's obsessed with soccer. And instead of overpriced bagels, they have these amazing little cheese breads called pão de queijo. Seriously. They're like little pillows of heaven. This city is a whirlwind of activity, with more art galleries than you can shake a stick at, and enough restaurants to satisfy every craving you could imagine. You've got everything from Michelin star fine dining to hole-in-the-wall places serving up the best darn feijoada you've ever had. And speaking of culture, Sao Paulo has it in spades. Talking world-class museums, theaters with enough drama to make a telenovela blush, and a music scene that'll make your head spin. Whether you're into samba, rock, or anything in between, Sao Paulo's got you covered. Just try not to get lost in the crowds, all right? This city's got more people than a Kardashian family reunion. Next up, we're ditching the hustle and bustle of the big city for something a little more tranquilo. Don't worry, I didn't suddenly forget how to speak English. We're heading to Jericoacoara, a beach paradise so beautiful, so secluded, it's like it was plucked straight out of a Corona commercial. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, that name sounds harder to pronounce than Guillermo after a few margaritas. And you're not wrong, but trust me, this place is worth butchering the name for. Just picture yourself lounging on pristine white sand beaches, sipping on a caipirinha, and watching the sun melt into the ocean. And if you ever get tired of doing absolutely nothing, which let's be honest is unlikely, Jericoacoara's got plenty of activities to keep you entertained. You can go kite surfing, sandboarding down giant dunes, or even explore hidden lagoons tucked away in the nearby national park. Just try not to get sand in your swimsuit. It's not a good look, folks. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our whirlwind tour of Brazil. We've seen everything from the iconic beaches of Rio to the breathtaking waterfalls of Iguazu, and even braved the wilds of the Amazon. We've sambaed in the streets, feasted on enough feijoada to feed a small army, and maybe, just maybe, learned how to pronounce Jericoacoara without sounding like we're having a stroke. It's been real, Brazil. Thanks for the memories, the music, and the endless supply of pão de queijo. I'm already dreaming of my next caipirinha on the beach. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride through the heart of South America, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel adventures. Until next time, folks.